Hi there guys, long time no see, and it is a video with a bit of a difference. I'm doing a bit of cataloguing, just counting up and having a look through my Sega Saturn collection, just looking at my games. I've got around about 80 games now, I think, and I'm just kind of going through them, sorting them out, and I've pulled out actually all my fighting games, and I think there's about 30 something here, 30 odd games, all fighting like one-on-one fighters, and I just thought I'd show them, go through them all with you and show you what they are, just so you can actually, and for myself basically, just to, I can, as of this day, was it February the 9th, just see what I've got and kind of catalogue it effectively. So I'm going to go through each one. And if you're interested in Sega Saturn and fighting games, check this little lot out. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to put these in there. I've got a couple of wrestling games. The first one is Fire Pro Wrestling. This is six men scramble. Was it 6-man scramble? Oh, my camera's crap for zooming. 6-men scramble. So that's the first one. Next one is another wrestling game. This one is, I can't remember the name of this. Blazing Tornado. That's it. Blazing Tornado, and that's kind of like a 2D kind of style. Pretty smart. I like the graphics on this one. Yeah, Blazing Tornado. This one here, Battle Monsters. Now this is a kind of odd, quirky kind of game, with a bit of a difference. It's kind of like pre-rendered, digitized graphics, kind of like the Mortal Kombat style, but then some of them are animated as well. And these are kind of like, it's a versus fighting game, which kind of features like monsters like Frankenstein's monster and other weird, quirky creatures. That's an odd one, Battle Monsters. Okay, this one I still haven't opened or played yet actually. I've been meaning to, I just really have not had the urge to open it or play it. This is Rise 2 Resurrection, so it's the sequel to Rise of the Robots. Featuring soundtrack by Queen, Brian May. A load of fighting characters in this game, you can see them all there. So I still haven't played that. I'm not going to say it looks really good, because judging by the first one, it's probably not going to be that good. So that's probably why I haven't played it. Okay, what's next? We've got Fighter's History Dynamite. Really great 2D arcade port here. I really like this one because it's, sorry about the shaky hand. It's got the really kind of 2D, if I can zoom in on the pictures here, 2D kind of style that I like, with these kind of old school looking kind of graphics. I've really got a kind of soft spot for these kind of old looking games, and the worse they look, the more I like them. So that's a quirky one, that's cool. That's Fighter's History Dynamite. It's got pretty good gameplay actually, so it's not that bad. This one's a really, a bit of a gem for me. I'm really happy to have this in the collection. What this is Street Fighter 02 Dash, and this is you can see by the red stripe here, it's the Satacore release, which is kind of like Sega Saturn's budget range. And you'll see often, a lot of games get released with this red stripe instead of the gold stripe. But this game especially is a bit of a limited run. There's not many of these done, so it's a bit of a gem to come across it and find it. So I'm really glad to have it in the collection. So with Street Fighter 2 Dash, there's no main release of this. The release came with the Street Fighter 2 collection, so there's no gold stripe version of this on its own. This is the only standalone version of this game you'll get. The other one's bundled in with the Street Fighter collection, so it's a bit of a gem to find that one. Really glad to have it. My favourite Samurai Showdown game, this is Samurai Showdown 4. This is actually called Samurai Spirits for the Japanese version. Amakusa's Revenge. And it's, yeah, like I said, my favourite version in the Samurai Showdown series. They really went back to what made it good with this after number 3. Number 3 was a bit of a dark horse, you know, being quite difficult. They changed a lot of things in that, so with this they went back to formula, redid the sprites and everything again, and polished it, cleaned it up. Really nice game. Really glad they did a release on that one for the Saturn. This is Street Fighter X-Men vs Street Fighter, beg your pardon. And this is in a box because it comes with one of those 4 megabyte RAM packs, which basically means when you plug that in with the game, you know, you don't get any loading times. So it's a really great arcade port, and another great one released by Capcom, so I'm really happy to have that in the collection also. Next, got quite a few to get through. Another box game. This is Real Bout Special. This is a Fatal Fury game, and this is the last one they released in the series, and it's a really good game. Really like this one. The graphics are fantastic, and it's a great port from the Neo Geo version. I really do like this game. It plays so fast, nice and smooth. And with the 1 megabyte RAM pack, you get the extra frames of animation on there, and really good stuff. Brilliant game. This is Zero Divide. Zero Divide is like a 3D beat 'em up, 3D style, and it's like, instead of people, you got like robots. I'll show you some screenshots here. I think this was on the Sony PlayStation. This was released as well. But this is Zero Divide Final Conflict. I'm not sure if this was on the PlayStation actually, because I know Zero Divide 2 was on the PlayStation, but I'm not sure if this one was on, or this is a re-release or something. There's something odd about this, the version that this is, but it's a kind of more of an unknown fighting game on the Saturn, and it features kind of robots, as you can see from these screenshots here, and it's really well designed. It's got really nice 3D graphics, and it's one of the more better looking, polished 3D fighters you can actually get on the system. So definitely worth checking out, or getting a hold of a copy if you can. It's really underrated, I think. This is Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. This is called Suiku Enbu, and otherwise, yeah, Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. And this is another one of those really kind of classic, really old school, really bad looking 2D fighting games, but I really like them because of the graphics, and this one especially because it's kind of got that kind of old Chinese mythology about it, with the old kind of kung fu style, and I like the sound effects that are in this game. It makes it really kind of kung fu style, with the slashes and the knocks and the punches, and it's got some great little special moves in there as well. It's a lovely little fighting game, and that's Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. And Data East, you know, they did some great arcade games back in the day, so you can't always go wrong with their games. Okay, this is a Fatal Fury game. This is Fatal Fury 3, not part of the Real Bout series. Actually, is it? I think this is the original Fatal Fury. I'm going to say it is. I don't think it's Real Bout. I think it's just Fatal Fury 3. And this is a good game. It's okay. It's a bit kind of... It runs a little bit slow for me. It's a little bit kind of slow and jerky, but it's lovely and colourful. You know, it's a good game, but it, compared to playing Real Bout Special, it's a bit slow for me. But because I'm collecting the fighting games, it's nice to have it. Fighters, what's this? King of Fighters 96. Really, you know, a good game. You know, the King of Fighters is a great pedigree for games, and 96 is no different. Fantastic roster of characters in here, loads and loads of characters to choose from, and great visuals. I think I still kind of prefer 95 at the moment. I haven't played enough of this, but it's still a great game, and one that's, you know, definitely worth having in a collection if you're into that sort of thing. This is Virtua Fighter Remix. Now this is a Netlink version, so it's the version that will only work if you have the Sega Saturn modem. So yeah, obviously I don't play it because I don't have the modem. But as you can see from the graphics, it's kind of like an updated version of Virtua Fighter with you see the visuals and the character select screen there. It's much nicer, smoothed out graphics. You know, the first game was quite blocky and had some issues, so they redid it. They did a and this is it, remix, as you can see from the title. Yeah, so you need the modem to play that one. This is, like I showed you that one before, Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. That one. This is the sequel to it. This is Fun Seiki. This is Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty 2, effectively. And now they released this because that first game had a lot of slowdown and, you know, bugs. Not bugs, but slowdown. Effectively, it ran really slow, a bit like a one-legged dog. So they re-released it and added two additional characters, and from Fighter's History actually, and it runs a lot better on this version. Lovely. This is again, this is a version that's actually quite hard to find. It took me ages to find a copy of this, so I was so happy when I got it. Fun Seiki, this is called, and if you're going to get one of the Outlaws games, if you can find it, get this one. Okay, this is Street Fighter 03. You know, not really much introduction needed for this one. It's a fantastic game. You know, the best version you can probably get, arcade perfect, better than the Dreamcast version, despite what anyone else says. It's a fact, and it's on the Sega Saturn, and I'm happy about that. So, absolute must-have, that one. World Heroes Perfect. Again, this is a really terrible looking game, but that's the reason I absolutely love it and picked it up, because I love these old school 2D fighting games, and this doesn't play bad at all. It plays absolutely great. It's got lovely big chunky sprites, lovely graphics, great sound effects, and it's a great arcade port. And if you used to play your fighters in the arcades back in the day, you must have come across this. This is an SNK classic, so I really am happy they did a version for the Sega Saturn. Probably another lesser known kind of fighting game here now. This one is a Golden Axe game. Yeah, Golden Axe, check it out. Weird, hey? And it's a one-on-one fighter. I think a lot of people were disappointed when they heard Golden Axe was, well, initially excited they heard Golden Axe was coming out for the Saturn, but disappointed in the fact that it ended up being a 2D beat-em-up. My zoom is just crap. As you can see from the screenshots, it's a one-on-one fighter, not a beat-em-up. And it's got really good graphics. I really thoroughly enjoy this game because they've used the Golden Axe kind of mythology and the fact that, you know, you can use potions to power up special moves. It's really actually well made. They use the Golden Axe kind of world and mythology to run the game, and you get those little elfling people that drop those potions, and then you can use different special moves whilst fighting. So it's actually really good in my opinion. I quite like it, and it's another really nice, colourful, bright 2D game. You know, 2D fighting game. Vampire Hunter. This is part of the Darkstalkers range. This is Vampire Hunter. I don't play this much. I prefer Vampire Savior, which is the Darkstalkers 2 or 3. I can't remember. Darkstalkers 2. But this is a good game still, really good game. Lovely, obviously colourful, bright sprites, nice to play, and another great Capcom release for the system. This is a box. Oh, hello. This is King of Fighters 95. Now this is the one I love playing at the moment. This is 95, and this has got, you know, the greatest graphics, lovely sprites. Look at these explosion effects, you know, people jumping left and right. It's just a crazy manic game. And it's the one out of the three I prefer on the Saturn at the moment, to be honest. It's the one I've put the most into, but the bosses at the end of this, they're just rock solid and they're kicking my ass. Here's the Street Fighter collection, so 3 games on here. You get Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Grandmaster Challenge, and you get that Street Fighter 02 Dash version as well. So really nice package on here. Nice, let's run through this. Okay, Capcom Generation 5. Now this, a lot of people probably don't know about this, but I'm not too sure about that anymore. This is 3 Street Fighter 2 games. This is the 3 arcade releases of Street Fighter 2. So you get World Warrior, Hyper Fighting, and Champion Edition on here. So absolute arcade perfect goodness. No loading times. What more could you want? If you've got a Sega Saturn and you love Street Fighter 2, pick this game up. It's called Capcom Generation Part 5, and it's got all your Street Fighter 2 goodness on there. My favourite Capcom X-Men versus fighting game, the first one. Look at the artwork on this. I've shown this before, but I just still can't get every time I see it. It's just beautiful. X-Men Children of the Atom. This is the game that kicked off the whole, Marvel versus whole X-Men Street Fighter genre series thing. And this is just featuring the X-Men on their own. Fantastic roster of characters. Cyclops is in here. He's awesome. He's the man. Really good game. Another Virtua Fighter Remix edition. Now this is a special copy because this is actually the limited edition version, seen here by this red tab that you get on the box. It plays obviously without the net link. The other version I had was a version you need a modem on the Saturn to play with, but it's effectively the same game. But this is no different from the regular Virtua Fighter Remix version. The difference is it's just this red. I don't know why it's limited, but they've got this like red thing on the box, which means it's like a limited edition version. Not really sure what's limited about it. Probably the fact that I didn't make too many of them. But yeah, that's just Virtua Fighter Remix. Marvel Superheroes. A good game, It's got Spider-Man's in there, Captain America, and all those people. Another great Capcom game. It's nice that they separate it out from X-Men and Street Fighter. So you've got your X-Men game, you've got your Marvel Superheroes games, and you've got your Street Fighter games. And then after that they started doing all the whole crossover business. But it's nice to have these games separately, these characters separately, these universes separately. The Marvel Superheroes there, so you got Incredible Hulk and all the others, Wolverines in there as well. It's quite cool. 3D fighting game here, Fighters Mega Mix. This is a crazy crossover between, I think, like Virtua Fighter and another game that I've got that I can't remember the name of. I'll pull it out in a minute actually. Which one is it? No, I don't actually have it. This is Virtua Fighter and another game. I can't remember the other game. That's the guy Axel. The guy with the guitar. Fighting Vipers. That's it. Fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter is kind of like a crossover kind of game with all those characters mixed in there. It's quite crazy. I think you can play as a car as well, which is quite odd. Anyway, it's quite a fun, crazy 3D fighting game. Quite different, so definitely worth checking out. King of Fighters 97. This is the last one they released on the Saturn, so they didn't do 98 or any of the ones after that. But this is a great game, So you've got 3 great King of Fighters games on the Saturn. This being the last one, and visually it's stunning. It's a great game. This is the Dark Horse. This is Samurai Showdown Part 3. This is called. I can't remember the name of it actually. It's just Samurai Showdown 3 as far as I know. But it's quite hard. It's a rock hard game. You know, before they released number 4, they made a load of changes after number 2, and this is pretty much the outcome. But you know, the sprites were bigger and chunkier and everything, but it was just too hard. It's just rock hard gameplay. This is it, Vampire Saviour. This is the one I prefer for the Darkstalkers range. Great roster of characters in this one. You know, lovely, bright, vibrant colours. Another great Capcom release, and you can't go wrong with that. It's a great 2D fighting game, and yeah, it adds to my Capcom collection quite nicely. Speaking of Capcom, we've got Capcom left now. This is Street Fighter 02, just the regular Street Fighter 02, no thrills, no spills, but great artwork front and back. You can see there, Dowson doing his fireball, Ryu doing something, and you know, Guy doing something. Not Guy, Cody doing something. No, Guy, that is Guy, Final Fight Guy. Yeah, great game. Crazy characters. 02, probably one of the better Street Fighter Zero games as well. Number 2 is awesome. If you can't get 3, this is definitely the one to get. This is Street Fighter Zero, the first one. Obviously, you know, simple game, introduction to the whole Street Fighter Zero series, and it does well. It's a great game, just to get you going. Pretty cheap as well, cheap to pick up if you're interested. And last Capcom game, this is called Cyberbots Full Metal Madness, and this is kind of like a versus fighting robot beat 'em up game. I keep saying beat 'em up, it's not beat 'em up, it's a versus fighting game featuring the Cyberbots from, what's the name of that game? Armored Warriors, the Capcom arcade game. And this is a really nice alternative to kind of Street Fighter games, because obviously you fight as robots. You know, you got Bloodier and Jin there. You can see loads of great robots to choose from and battle it out until you blow up. So that's it, guys. That is my fighting collection for the Sega Saturn. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a nice little bunch there. You know, the collection's up and coming, still going strong, but hopefully I can find some more nice ones in the future. But thanks for watching and sticking with me for 22 minutes. Take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye bye.